I think it's age, you know, and experience, and yeah, it's a really interesting, complex, complicated industry to navigate, and it definitely took me a few years to figure out my place in all of that.
Because I mean, a lot of the younger artists starting now as teenagers or youngsters, girls, boys, you know, everyone, they're not going to want to bite the hand that feeds them. So do you see it kind of like your responsibility in a way to say what you see and call stuff out?
Yeah, and the hand that feeds them is always willing to bite them, so they should bite back.
Yeah.
Don't sign a major record label deal, any kids. Seriously. Just don't do it.
And is that something you feel like, you know, you've discovered that,
yeah.
and you're going to use this, and just be honest, you know, like kind of like Rose McGowan, but in a different way, but just calling it.
Yeah, I mean, it's as I said, you know, it's really complex and really complicated, you know, and some people have really great experiences and other people don't. But, you know, these contracts are really like long-term commitments, and, you know, people come and go from record labels or from, you know, management companies or whatever, but you're sort of still stuck in that contract. So it's, you know, if things don't sort of fall into place, it can be really like lonely and isolating. And yeah, and not very enjoyable. I've had, you know, some really enjoyable moments, but I've had some pretty tough ones as well.
Any big things you'd change if you were going back?
Yeah, I'd have asked for more money.
So, who would you like?
And I wouldn't have spent so much money on lawyers to have done absolutely nothing. Anyway, carry on.
Sort of like, yeah, used your younger self, because you were thinking about looking for that fame, looking for that money and that success.
Yeah, well, actually, no, I wasn't really. Like in the beginning, I was just sort of looking to get noticed, you know, and to have my, you know, my music out there. And it overnight, it just became very mainstream and very successful. And it wasn't, you know, if I had known what was going to happen, then I would definitely not have signed that small deal, because it would have made absolutely no sense. But you know, that wasn't where I saw things going. I thought I was going to be a sort of like indie act that, you know, where I sort of thought I'd support Jamie T or be part of the Thames Beat scene, which was what was happening at the time, and things like, you know, just grew and got really crazy, and then it became about maintaining that, not just for me but for everybody else. You know, everyone wanted to be involved with the thing that was working and bringing loads of cash in. And so when things started to sort of like not really go to plan with my third album, I felt just like a massive failure, really, and that I'd not just like for myself, but I let everybody else around me down, and that was a real struggle. So this album has really been about sort of figuring out what it is that my intentions are with this work, and you know, it wasn't really to get on the radio, and it wasn't really you know, about branding endorsements. It was about explaining how I felt and putting that to music, and I feel like I've achieved that, and that's why it's just such a lovely thing to be nominated for this award, because that's obviously crossed over in some way.
Absolutely. So who would you like to see win the Mercury Prize?
Me. Yep. No, I mean, actually, I would really like Nadine Charters to win, because I think that, you know, there is a bit of a sort of like cultural war going on at the moment, and it feels like there is so, you know, art and culture is the one sort of enemy of capitalism and globalism. And it's interesting to me that politics can be in such a state and there not really be a sort of resistance in terms of culture and art. And so Nadine's album is exactly that, and should be being played everywhere and all over the radio, because that's what music's for, I think. You know, where's the Clash? Where are the Sex Pistols of today? They're not here for some reason.
As one of the more established nominees, would it actually make much of a difference to you if you won?
Yeah. It would. It would make a huge difference to me, because it would, you know, I do feel a little bit like there is a caricature version of myself which is portrayed in the mainstream press, and the artist part of me gets lost a lot of the time. And so, yeah, so I mean, already being nominated has helped with that immensely, but to win would just be amazing, yeah.